Welcome back to Talk Tickers. Earnings calls, we love to get into the nitty-gritty of these things. And today, we are tackling Baidu's Q3 2024 report.
The Google of China.
The Google of China. That's one way to put it.
Yeah, for those unfamiliar.
Yeah, they've been the king of the internet search over in China for years.
To be years and years.
But they're making a big push
They are.
to become a full-blown
AI powerhouse.
AI powerhouse.
That's the goal here.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is how aggressively they're going after this. Like, this isn't just some little side project.
Right.
They are betting the farm on AI. And the star of the show, the real headliner here, is their AI chatbot, Ernie.
Yeah, you hear about it everywhere.
It is everywhere in this call.
Everywhere. Ernie popping up in search results, crafting marketing materials.
Yeah.
Even taking orders at KFC and Pizza Hut, thanks to a deal with Young China.
That's right.
So,
Big stuff.
okay, so let's unpack this. We got the earnings call transcript.
Yeah.
We got some analyst reports, a few news articles. Our mission
Lay it on me.
is to figure out if Baidu is on the right track with this AI-powered future.
Well, let's start with the financials, shall we?
Let's do it.
Overall revenue down 3% year over year.
Okay.
But if you strip out IQIYI, which is their streaming service, the core business is essentially flat.
Not exactly.
Not setting the world on fire.
No, not really.
No, but they do mention that the macro environment in China is making things tough.
Right.
Especially for small and medium businesses, which make up a big chunk of their ad revenue.
Right. And those are the ones who are really sensitive to those economic slowdowns. So any weakness there,
Hits them hard.
yeah, it's going to hit Baidu harder than, say, a company focused on those bigger enterprise clients.
That's a really key point.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the overall picture.
Okay.
But amidst all of this, there is a very bright spot, and that is the AI cloud.
Okay.
Revenue there jumped 11% year over year.
Wow.
That is some serious growth in this environment.
Yeah.
And it's fueled by companies that want access to Baidu's AI infrastructure and their MaaS platform. And that stands for Model as a Service, by the way.
Model as a service.
Basically lets other companies build and use their own AI applications without having to start from scratch.
Without having to reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're providing the picks and shovels for this new gold rush.
Yeah. They also dropped this really interesting detail about combining GPUs from different vendors for training and hosting models with minimal throughput loss.
Yeah.
Which I have to admit sounds incredibly complex.
Oh, it is complex. But
Yeah.
the takeaway here is that Baidu is getting really, really smart about managing this massive computing power that you need for AI.
Yeah.
Think of it like they're building this super efficient engine for their AI machine.
Okay.
This kind of optimization could give them a real edge in terms of both cost and efficiency.
Yeah. Makes them a little bit more nimble, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about Ernie, because it feels like they're putting it in everything.
Well, they are. And the numbers really show it. I mean, look at this. The earnings call mentions that Ernie API calls have gone from 600 million a day in August to a whopping 1.5 billion in November.
Wow.
That's a crazy increase. And it's not just external clients driving this. They're using Ernie internally.
Internally.
For things like search document creation on their platform, Baidu Wenku, which is basically like Google Docs.
Okay.
Even internal coding.
Wow.
I mean, they are truly drinking their own champagne.
Yeah, and they're making this bold claim, right, that Ernie agents are going to be the next big thing.
The next big thing.
Like websites after the internet boom, or apps, during that mobile revolution. Next big thing.
It's a bold statement.
It is. What makes them so confident? Do they have any evidence to back that up?
Well, it's worth noting that Baidu has been right about big tech shifts before. They were early to recognize the potential of mobile internet, and they really dominated that space in China.
They did.
Plus, I mean, look at that massive jump in Ernie API calls that shows people are finding real value in using AI to do things, creating content, learning new things, even just getting stuff done faster.
Right.
There's a real tangible benefit there.
Okay, fair enough. But let's get to the heart of their strategy, which is transforming search with AI. Over 20% of Baidu search results now include AI-generated content.
And here's the really interesting part. users are actually engaging more deeply with these AI-powered results.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're spending more time on Baidu, they're using more complex search terms, they're even creating their own content inspired by the results. And to me, that says a lot.
It does.
It's not just about, throwing AI into the mix.
Right.
It's about creating a richer, more personalized search experience. And they even talk about different content formats like summaries, images, videos, even digital humans.
Wow.
It's pretty wild stuff.
So they're moving beyond just delivering information.
Huh?
They're helping users truly understand it.
Exactly. I think that's a really great way to put it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the vision here.
Yeah.
But here's the million-dollar question.
Hit me.
How are they going to make money from this?
Well, that's the tricky part, right? I mean, they're still experimenting with monetizing this AI-powered search. They mentioned some promising results in areas like legal education, business-to-business services,
Okay.
but nothing concrete yet.
Right. They did highlight one example, though, and that's a healthcare client that saw a 50% increase in leads after building their own Ernie agent.
Yeah, that's a pretty compelling example.
It is. It shows the potential.
Absolutely, but it's still early days.
Yeah.
And it raises a crucial question. Are they willing to sacrifice short-term profits to build long-term dominance in AI?
It seems like they're prioritizing innovation over immediate financial gains.
It seems that way, yeah.
And speaking of innovation, we can't forget about their autonomous driving arm, Apollo Go.
Oh, yeah, the robotaxis.
They've provided over 8 million rides now, which makes them the global leader in this space.
That's right. And they've hit 100% driverless operation in 2 Chinese cities. And they're expanding to more. I mean, that's huge. It shows how far this technology has come.
Absolutely. And they're going with what they call asset-light models for expansion, which is basically partnerships and collaborations.
Makes sense. Building out a robo-taxi fleet everywhere is incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
By partnering, they can share the costs and the risks.
Right.
And they're also looking at international expansion. So it seems like they're taking a very calculated approach to scaling this business.
So to recap, Baidu is going all in on AI with Ernie at the center of it all.
They are.
They're transforming their core products. They're investing heavily in AI infrastructure and even betting that Ernie agents are going to be the next big thing in tech.
Big bets.
Big bets.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of unknowns, especially when it comes to turning all this innovation into, cold, hard cash.
Absolutely. They're facing headwinds in their core ad business, and the path to monetizing AI is still a little bit murky.
Right.
It's a high-stakes gamble for Baidu. I mean, they're essentially betting their future on AI, and it's too early to say for sure if it's going to pay off.
But on the other hand, they have a massive user base, a clear first-mover advantage in China's AI space, and a history of innovation.
That's true.
I mean, they're definitely a company worth keeping a close eye on.
For sure.
Speaking of keeping an eye on things,
Yeah.
should we move on to our This Is Not Financial Advice segment, where we throw out a totally outrageous but maybe plausible trade idea based on what we've learned?
Let's do it. Remember, folks, this is purely for entertainment purposes. Don't blame us if things go south.
Absolutely not.
So Baidu stock has definitely taken a bit of a beating this year. Concerns about China's economy, worries about this transition to AI impacting their ad revenue.
Right.
Got investors a little bit spooked.
Yeah, share price is way down from as high. It seems like some people aren't quite sure what to make of this whole AI pivot.
Yeah, it's definitely a big change, but
Doesn't that create an opportunity?
that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
What if this dip is a chance to buy low, hoping for a rebound as this AI strategy starts to pay off?
Okay. Remember, Baidu has a history of bouncing back from tough times.
They do. They've weathered storms before.
They have, and they've come out stronger. Plus, they're sitting on a mountain of cash.
So you're thinking this could be a good time to buy and bet that their AI gamble's eventually going to pay off.
Yeah. I mean, it's a possibility.
I like the way you think, but this is the outrageous segment.
Okay.
You got anything a little spicier?
Okay, how about this short-term put options on Baidu?
Ooh, put options.
Now you're talking.
Now we're talking, but those can be risky.
They can be risky.
So walk me through this.
All right, so here's the thinking. China's been rolling out some stimulus measures to try and boost their economy.
Okay.
What if those measures start to work and Baidu's ad business picks up steam in the next few quarters?
So if those stimulus measures work and Baidu's ad revenue starts recovering, their stock price should climb.
Exactly. And if the stock price goes up, those put options that we sold will lose value and we can buy them back at a lower price.
Okay.
Boom, profit. I see the logic.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some risk here.
There is.
What if the stimulus doesn't work as well as expected, or Baidu's AI transition hits a snag?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those put options could come back to haunt us.
There's always risk. That's why this is an outrageous idea, not actual financial advice.
Absolutely.
But hey, it's fun to think about.
It is fun to think about. And remember, folks, never invest more than you can afford to lose. Do your own research. And don't blame us if your outrageous trades go sideways.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, let's step back from the speculative frenzy for a minute and wrap up this deep dive into Baidu. What are the big takeaways here?
Well, I think it's crystal clear that Baidu is going all in on AI.
Yeah.
They're overhauling their core products. They're pouring money into AI infrastructure. And they're convinced that these Ernie agents are going to be the next big thing in tech.
Right. It's a bold strategy, but it comes with risks.
It does.
Their bread and butter ad business is facing some serious headwinds, and it's not clear how they'll make real money from AI in the long run. But what's really fascinating to me is their willingness to play the long game.
Yeah.
They seem prepared to sacrifice short-term profits for the chance to dominate the AI landscape, down the road.
Yeah, they're really thinking big picture here.
Yeah. It's almost like they're operating on a different timeline than a lot of other tech companies. They're building for the future, even if it means taking some lumps along the way.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the big question for you, our listeners.
Hit me.
Will this strategy pay off?
That's the question.
Will Ernie live up to the hype and become that AI assistant that Baidu envisions? Will they crack the code on monetizing AI-powered search and all these other services that they're building?
So many questions.
So many questions. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this is a story worth following closely.
It is.
Baidu is pushing the boundaries here.
Yeah.
And the outcome could reshape the entire tech landscape.
I agree. It's going to be fascinating to watch.
All right, Talk Tickers listeners, that's our deep dive into Baidu's Q3 earnings call. We hope you found it insightful, informative, and maybe even a little entertaining.
As always, remember to do your own research, stay informed, and until next time.
Happy investing. While we're talking about Baidu's AI strategy, we can't forget about Baidu Wenku.
Right.
They gave it a decent chunk of time in the earnings call. For those who don't know, it's basically their version of Google Docs, but with a turbocharged AI engine under the hood.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of how AI can make us more productive and creative.
Right.
I mean, imagine taking your basic slide deck and having AI transform it into a professional-looking presentation in seconds.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff Wenku can do.
And people are loving it. They said the monthly active users for AI-powered features on Wenku hit a whopping 50 million in September. Wow. That's a 300% jump year over year.
That's incredible.
Clearly, users are finding real value in these AI-powered features, and they're even willing to pay for them. Wenku's subscription revenue grew by a solid 23% year over year in Q3.
It's not just about fancy presentations, though. Baidu's using AI to power all sorts of document creation tasks, writing reports, generating marketing materials, you name it.
Right, and remember that deal with Yum China we mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah.
They're using Baidu's AI-powered customer service product, Kiyu, to handle a lot of those customer interactions at KFC and Pizza Hut.
Yeah, Kiyu is designed to handle most questions on its own, freeing up human agents for the more complex issues.
Right. The call highlighted that Kiyu's API call volume has been exploding, with peak calls reaching several million a day.
That's a lot of chicken.
That is a lot of chicken. But it's a clear sign that businesses see real value in AI-powered customer service.
For sure.
And it's not just big companies like Yum China that are jumping on board. Baidu talked about an online exam prep platform that's using Ernie to automatically generate answers and explanations for test questions.
Oh, wow. So instead of having a team of experts, painstakingly writing out answers, they're having AI do it.
Exactly. And get this, by replacing manual explanation writing, they slashed the cost of creating those explanations by 99.8%.
That's insane.
It's insane. It really shows how AI can disrupt entire industries and unlock these massive efficiency gains.
I mean, it's not just about saving money either. This platform saw a huge increase in paying users because the quality of the learning materials improved so dramatically thanks to AI.
Right. So it's a win-win.
It is businesses save money, users get better products, everybody's happy.
I think what's most exciting about all of this is that Baidu is proving that AI is more than just a buzzword.
Right.
It's a powerful tool that's already transforming businesses and creating opportunities across a wide range of industries.
Absolutely. What we're seeing with Baidu is just the tip of the iceberg. AI is going to change the world as we know it, and companies like Baidu are leading the charge.
Well, Talk Tickers listeners, that brings our deep dives into Baidu's Q3 earnings call to a close. We've covered a lot of ground today: their overall financials, their ambitious AI strategy, their innovative products like Ernie and Wenku, and their push into autonomous driving with Apollo Go.
A lot going on.
We've seen that Baidu is navigating some choppy waters with their ad business, but making impressive progress in their AI transformation. The big question remains, will their bold bet on AI pay off in the long run?
That's the question.
Will this be the start of a whole new era for Baidu, or will they end up as just another cautionary tale?
It's a question only time will answer, but one thing's certain, Baidu is not afraid to take risks and push the boundaries of what's possible. They're a company that's definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Thanks for joining us on this earnings call, Deep Dive. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode breaking down the latest news from the world of finance and tech.
Until then, remember to do your own research. Stay curious, and as always,
Happy investing.